Here we go again, guys. Propaganda. Check this headline out from the Washington Compost, okay? This NFL firing cycle is disproportionately affecting minority head coaches. They're just firing all the black guys out of the NFL. You know why? Because they're black. Good Lord. So today was officially Black Monday, which is kind of unfortunate to call it that now that you're seeing all these coaches that were fired. And I got to be honest, I never was thinking about the race of the coaches that were fired. I was just keeping track of who was getting fired. As an NFL fan, that's what you do. You just keep track of it. The Broncos, my team, fired our coach today. Had nothing to do with his race. I can tell you firsthand from watching him for 2 years, he was grossly incompetent. Okay? Now, before I even get into like these coaches being fired and blackness and all that, let's first get to where this started, okay? The NFL, for those of you that don't watch it or don't know much about the background, they have this thing called the Rooney Rule, okay? The Rooney Rule is effectively like affirmative action, okay? So basically, when a team performs a coaching candidate search, right, they are required by league guidelines to interview at least one minority candidate, okay? Regardless of their intention to hire that candidate, they must interview them. So I hate that rule. I can't stand it. I know some people disagree. I hate the Rooney Rule because it only has to do with the color of the person's skin, not, believe it or not, their coaching capabilities or their record as a coach. It's all about you gotta hire or interview someone who's black or Latino or something. It's stupid. It's not. I could understand if there was an artificial barrier between black men getting head coaching positions, but you've seen head coaches that are black that have won the Super Bowl. Tony Dungy was the first black coach to ever win a Super Bowl. Mike Tomlin has won a Super Bowl as a black coach. I know the NFL has had a history. You know, at one point, there were no black players allowed. Then there were no black quarterbacks. Okay, both of those hurdles were knocked down. Then it was, okay, there's no black quarterbacks to win the Super Bowl. That happened with Doug Williams. Then Russell Wilson. So now if a black quarterback wins the Super Bowl, no one's going to talk or think about it because it's like, all right, we've moved beyond that. But leave it to the left to politicize everything and turn it into race. This headline right here tells you everything you need to know about the state that we are in as a country. It's all about stoking the flames of racial division. And it's like, with the Rooney Rule, you know, I disagree with it because it sucks for the coach, you know, the black coach who wants the job. And if the team has no intentions of hiring him, like they already have their guy picked out, he's just there for the interview and knowing he's not going to get a call back. I mean, it's stupid. If I were the black coach and I knew, because they talk league circles, you know, there's gossip. If I knew that I was only being interviewed because of the Rooney Rule, they're only interviewing me because I'm black, I would turn down the interview. I'm like, can't you just hire me or interview me based on my resume? It's just dumb, man. And it's something that I feel like they should look at. Okay, so anyway, you had 7 black head coaches at the beginning of the day, and now there are only 2. Mind you, the 2 that are left, one of them's in the playoffs, Anthony Lynn for the Chargers. The other, Mike Tomlin, even though he didn't make the playoffs, he has an impressive record with the Steelers. He's been their coach for like a decade. And you know, he's had a Super Bowl appearance, 2 Super Bowl appearances, 1 Super Bowl victory, you know, so his job is safe. That's fine. But when you talk about some of the coaches that were fired, okay, let's look at some of the coaches that were fired. Let's scroll up here. Okay, this guy right here, Marvin Lewis. Marvin Lewis for the Cincinnati Bengals. Second longest tenured head coach behind only Bill Belichick. Okay, he's with the Cincinnati Bengals for 16 seasons. Do you know how many times they went to the playoffs? 7. Do you know how many playoff wins they had? 0. And their record this year was 6-10. So he had a long leash in Cincinnati to be there for 16 years with no playoff wins. I mean, if you ask me, he probably should have been fired a long time ago. So to say it's about race and try to like stack it all up, yeah, I know it looks bad on the surface. It looks bad. But when you just look at the numbers, it makes sense why these coaches got fired. It's just unfortunate that they all got fired in the same season, but it's not like the NFL's conspiring against the black coaches. Of course, LeBron's going to probably come out and with some word vomit and say some more nonsense about it. Oh, it's just the slave masters. They're just cracking the whip on those poor black coaches, firing them all. Oh, look, they fired a white guy today too? Oh, man. Dang. Okay. So it surely it can't just be black money, let's fire all the black coaches because we're racist. Couldn't be that Vance Joseph here for the Broncos. Look at this. 2 seasons, 6-10 record. Now, let me tell you something about the Broncos, okay? Since that's my team, I can speak to it. The Broncos had back-to-back losing seasons for the first time since the 70s under this head coach. Some records were broken and shattered against us, like a tight end broke the single season or single game yardage against our defense under this head coach. Those are blemishes that don't look good on a team that is, a gold standard. Like, we're a proud franchise, Super Bowl or bust, okay? He gets fired after 2 years, grossly incompetent, not a very, I don't know, man. It sucks because, he seemed like a good guy, but if you don't perform, you're out, and it has nothing to do with skin color. It seems elementary that I have to say that, but it is what it is. Now, this is the one guy here, Steve Wilks for the Arizona Cardinals. He got fired after 1 season, and the Cardinals have talent. So they probably saw a lot of flaws in his coaching style, and they wanted to, cut ties quickly. You got to stop the bleeding before it gets out of hand. You don't want to be like the Cincinnati Bengals and hang on to a coach for 16 years just so you don't look racist for firing someone who sucks at their job. Jeez. Oh, look. Another white guy that got fired. Huh. Interesting. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 3 seasons. Okay. 2018 record, 5-11. 0 playoff appearances. Todd Bowles for New York Jets, 4 seasons. 4-12 record this year, despite having what they picked like top 5 in the draft this past year. 0 playoff appearances. It's a performance-based business. Look at this guy, Mike McCarthy. He had probably the most impressive resume of any guy on this list. 13 seasons, 125-77-2 all-time record, 9 playoff appearances, 10-8 in the playoffs, including a Super Bowl win, and he still got fired because it's a performance-based business. So if you have friends on the left that are retweeting and talking about this, Black Monday, all the coaches are being fired, or people sharing this nonsense propaganda article. I hate this headline right here, guys. This is so stupid. Just bad for the country. Just divisive as hell. You guys, I tell you what, man, the truth is stranger than fiction. Sound off in the comments. Let me know what you think. Is the NFL deeply racist for firing these black coaches? Oh my God, they fired all the black coaches on Black Monday. It's a conspiracy. Or is there some common sense that we can override this nonsense with? Because the left, we know that they're full of nonsense. It's all about optics. They don't care if the person's good at their job. They just care that they're black or a woman or Islamic or transgender. That's all that they care about, is the superficial aspects of a person, not who they are. They care about what they are. And that's one of the problems that we have to fight. So on this fine New Year's Eve, guys, one of my New Year's resolutions is to continue to fight this bullshit narrative that they keep cramming down our throats, this racial division, these identity politics, the intersectionality. Going to be fighting it tenfold in 2019, guys. So sound off in the comments, like, share, subscribe. Don't forget to follow me on all the social media accounts, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Just type in MikeNificent813. I should pop right up. If you want to donate, there's links in the description to do so. And I will catch you guys in the next video.